What's up, viewers? This is Football Fanatic 27 and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about a team who I feel made it one of the best runs at a Women's World Cup qualifier, and who had it like one of the most shocking run there. And for this one, I'm talking about Vietnam Women's National Soccer Team. So when I looked at the run they made, personally, I gotta say Vietnam did not give up. Like, they did amazing. As we know, like, they got to the Women's Asian World Cup. They qualified it after some good wins. But what I had no idea about was that before the cup was going on, a lot of their players couldn't go because they had COVID in Spain. So they didn't have 13 players to get to bring over for the cup. And literally a day before, they could have withdrawn. A lot more of their players were coming back. They were cleared. They weren't positive, so they were able to go over to India to do the qualifiers. And I gotta say, Vietnam, they did really good at this Asian Cup. As we know, they were in a group with Japan, South Korea, and Myanmar. And we know South Korea and Japan are both favorites in Asian soccer, both men and women's. So when I looked at the score lines for Vietnam against Japan and South Korea, they lost 3-0 against both of them, but it honestly wasn't a bad game for them. They had good defending, and their keeper, I wrote some of their names down. Their keeper, Tran T Kim Tan, sorry if I pronounced it wrong. She did really good in the goalkeeping. She had some really good saves. The defense was doing good against both teams. Only conceding 3 goals against both teams, it's really not bad considering how big both Japan and South Korea soccer are. And then they played at Myanmar, and they both tied 2-2. It was a really good game. The highlights were good. And Vietnam was able to qualify for the quarterfinals, I mean, because they had a better goal difference. And as we know, India had to withdraw from the tournament as host. They were host of it, but they had to withdraw because of COVID, and they didn't have enough players for their next match. So as we know, there were the three best. There were only two third place teams who could go through. There was either Iran, Thailand, I believe, and Vietnam. But Thailand and Vietnam were able to go through because they had a better goal difference. And then the knockouts came. And as we know, China and Vietnam faced off against each other. Vietnam, I believe, got the first goal, and it was a real good game. They had a good run, like they were defending good against China, and they ended up losing 3-1. But that really wasn't bad because, as we know, China ended up becoming the winners of the Women's Asian Cup, and it was a good game. As we know, Vietnam, they came close. It could have been 3-3, 3-2. Vietnam really did well, and then since they were eliminated, and also since Australia was eliminated from South Korea, that changed up the playoff round. So it was between Thailand, Chinese Taipei, and Vietnam. The first place team would go through automatically to the Women's World Cup final. So as we know, Thailand lost both games to Vietnam and Chinese Taipei. Vietnam, I believe, won 3-0, and Chinese Taipei won 2-0. So Vietnam had a better goal difference. So all they needed was a tie against Chinese Taipei to automatically send them through. I remember waking up early, not checking the score for the highlights for Chinese Taipei and Vietnam. So I turned on the game highlights. I watched it with both my parents, and it was a good one. I was personally going for Chinese Taipei because I thought they were an underdog. I was fine with either one of them getting to the World Cup. I did want to see Chinese Taipei, but it was a really good game. Like Vietnam, I had no idea about their football. Like, they were real good. Like, they did good in this Asian Cup. Their game against Chinese Taipei, it was a really good one. Like, they had good attacks, they had good defending, and at the end, they won. They were able to go through to the Women's World Cup, and I gotta say, this is why I think they had a shocking run, a shocking qualifier. Why I think it was a good one. Like they almost didn't have a chance to play in the qualifying for AFC Asian Cup because they didn't have enough players. But literally a day before, more players came. They were able to play, and like their Asian Cup performance, it really was not all that bad. Like they, as we know, they faced against Japan, South Korea, and China, and they did really good. Like their game against China, they almost tied the game up at the end. Like they really did good. And for the goal scorers, for one goal we had Chuang T Ki, Nguyen T Bik Tui, and Tai T Tao. They all scored one goal. And for the two goals, the players who scored two goals there at the AFC Asian Cup, we had Nguyen T Tuyet Dung and Hyun Niu. And as we know, she's scored 64 goals for Vietnam. That's the most goals scored by a player on the Vietnam women's national team. So, despite them being in a group now, like with USA, Netherlands, and Portugal, I could see Vietnam making an impact. There can be a shock coming on, but I gotta say Vietnam, they really did good. Their qualifying was good. Like, they certainly shocked me. And again, like, this is the first time Vietnam, men or women's, got to a World Cup. So I'm excited to see how Vietnam does. Again, like, this was a shocking qualifying run to me, and they should not be looked down on. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this video. Let me know what you think of Vietnam's national team. And I will see you guys in the next video.